garden right now. I love that. Start leaving them berries. Oh, I love you guys. Wow, so you had that dream. You had that dream of parting the sea at 18. Do you feel like that's been something that dream has been something that has been with you? Yeah. So in the beginning, was it the word or was it the dream or was it a dream? So if in the beginning it was a dream rather than the word, right? What this does is it takes us beyond these set in stone things, right? Like once it's in written word, it's kind of just like something that you can read, it's set in stone. This is the written word of it, right? When we look at certain myths, it's a beginning, a middle, and an end. Typically, the creature or the character is going on a hero or a heroine's journey. So there's something that happens at the beginning, there's something that happens through their journey. They hit some peak moment, some catalyst, and then we get to the end of their story, right? That's a typical story. The myth that we're going to be studying in here, starting out, is open ended, right? So there's something really powerful that happens when we start to dream with the myth rather than just dreaming, right? When we start to see that it's a dream dreaming us, it it's so much more than just the word, right? That's why I'm really big on human animal, not human being, because an animal doesn't have to use their words to know that they're provided for, right? A dream dreaming us, the emergent dream. Yeah. An animal is being dreamed, right? An animal doesn't have to use its words to communicate with reality, right? So if in the beginning it was just a dream and not the word, how much more creative freedom does that give us? And I'm sure you both have had experiences where it's like something happens and there really is no words for it. So here we have an intro to Dreamtime physics. So physics is the study of energy and matter, right? Matter obviously is something that we can touch. Like this is matter, matter, and energy. It's a really simple definition of what it means to study physics. Type in the chat if you've studied into quantum physics or anything in that realm. Absolutely, somewhat. Cool. So ma, if we're studying energy and matter, ma is an emanation. So an emanation, something like emanating, right? Radiance. We were talking about radiance. An emanation. Ma is an emanation of source, of this foundational source, the source of all things, the source. So what if everything is material, right? in so many different areas of study, we see the material being separated from energy, being separated from spirituality, being separated from whatever it is. Or maybe I know Opal's in this place right now where it's like maybe we've been taught that we shouldn't be materialistic, right? Or we have certain ideas of materialism. So what would you say in the chat what your perception has been of materialism? Like, what is your typical viewpoint of the material? Mm, hmm I feel like materialism is part of both the human and non-human nature, being able to know and create from both sides. That's beautiful. It's beautiful, Nia. You're speaking to being in the dream, but the dream is dreaming you. I think it's split. We can have luxury, but there's distortion based on consumption and rituals based in what separates us. Yeah. Yeah, we don't really see it as, I don't want to say we, I'm working on my syntax. A lot of humans, a lot of society is like, doesn't see material as this whole, as reality, as this whole thing, right? Typically, it's like reality is a simulation, reality is an illusion. But also, I'm experiencing all this luxury because reality is an illusion, right? There's kind of like this weird split. I love the way you said that. I love the way you both said that. Like, Nia's speaking to the human and non-human nature, embracing both sides. And then Opal speaking to how those very same things become split, right? So we're seeing kind of like it's either split or it's whole, but there's always kind of like this when we're entering the dream time, when we're coming into this dream time reality, there's no longer this crazy separation between me and reality. Right? Like there's like we're already whole, we're already part of the whole, right? But we're like a fractal in a whole. But because we're already whole, when we take that fractal and we dichotomize more of it, so we fractalize the fractal, right? Like we're already a fractal in a greater whole, but we fractalize the fractal. And that's like how replication and mimicking happens because it's a bunch of like, Opal with the archons, right? There's like this like mimic replication that's just happening. It's all these like replicated fractals that we see on a screen rather than the fractals of nature. Everything in nature is a fractal, but all we really see is the whole picture. All we see is the tree, but it's really a fractal in the greater whole. Right. So that's the issue with a lot of like the separation between material and spirituality is trying to fractalize a fractal into parts. Now there's all these parts of me, even though I'm already a fractal. It's like making yourself smaller, 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 smaller. And I've been in this conversation where it's like, what happens when we know ourselves as just the fractal? How big does it actually make us? And how big is that without us having to try to be big? Because we know we're already part of the whole. But how can I see myself as part of the whole if I don't see material reality as just as spiritual as the ways that I see the other realm. So, does this mean that one can touch, taste, and experience the cosmos within the flesh? Hence why this space is called flesh, right? Um, how many times have you guys heard? Because I know y'all both grew up in Bible study. How many times have you guys heard, well, the flesh doesn't go with you? The flesh is only against you. The flesh doesn't go with you, right? Like, how many times have you heard that? You can't take it with you, right? Mia's been noticing things in her church. I was remember that conversation we had before I left. Nia, by the way, Opal, Nia works at the cafe that I always go to back home. That's how I met her. So we had some fun conversation. But yeah, exactly. Like you can't take it with you, right? So where does that leave us? It leaves us in this interesting experience with the flesh where deep in our psyche or wherever, we're automatically seeing ourselves as separate from reality. Because we're more so thinking if I want to touch, if I want to tap into the energy, if I want to tap into the dream, then I have to wait till I leave my flesh. If I want to tap into eternity, if I want to tap into that heaven like state, right? The bliss, the freaking just being carried by life lucidly, I have to wait until I leave the flesh because the flesh, being in the flesh means I'm in a phantom realm. Being in a, I've seen that recently, like, oh, we're just in a phantom realm, right? We're just in a simulation. So where does that leave the flesh? Because if being in a body automatically means I'm separate from eternity, am I just like shit out of luck my whole life here? But what happens when you can touch, taste, and experience the cosmos in the flesh? And that whether you're in the flesh or not in the flesh, you can experience eternity. Oh, we're getting to that, girl. What would be the purpose of our existence? That's why we're studying this myth. This myth gives so much purpose to things that we, yeah, exactly. It's like, what would be the purpose? If what's the point if I have to wait till I leave the flesh? If I'm just here to work, make money, slave away till I die, and then I can experience heaven, right? There's something deep in the body that says when I'm in the flesh, I cannot experience that. Okay. So, Opal, you already kind of shared a dream. Um, I'm curious if you ladies have experienced psychic attack in your dreams or any type of like you just knew something wasn't right in your dream. Yeah. And also if you can share if you had nightmares as a child or if you started to have nightmares growing up or when can you remember when you started to have like nightmares or maybe you became scared of the dark or whatever it was. Like kind of like that primal innocence of like I don't want to be in the dark. I need a night light. I don't want to have bad dreams. Wow. Like you would experience physical harm and like wake up from your sleep and like you would be really there with it. And awake, yeah. LOL, but no nightmares as a child. Well, I always had a dream of a huge earthquake happening and separating me from my family. I don't see it as a nightmare. I see it as a I love you. She's like, that's a nightmare. That's why we're getting to our cosmic origins, which kind of surpasses our family origins. You know what I'm saying? We're tapping into our cosmic origins. So just in case, yeah, I know. That's why I thought that was so funny. Never burned a bridge to light my way, though. Don't have it there. Yeah. And I pray that these studies and this experience helps root you guys into deeper origins before the family, right? Like the human animal, the cosmic origins is before anything, right? It's important that we know our human origins, our family origins, but this takes us to an even more cosmic place that kind of helps us like not separate ourselves from the family, but detach from a lot of generational stuff, a lot of like, goodness, there's just so much power in the dream time because when I'm in the dream time and I know my cosmic origins, not as a way to bypass, but rather than trying to go into all this generational healing for my family of origin here, I can realize that that's actually, I'm touching my cosmic origins. I don't need to dig into all this generational healing as much as I used to, right? Cool. So I want you guys to bring that with you, like that energy of if you experience like psychic attack and nightmares and stuff, that can ultimately play a role in how you experience the dream time or how you commune with your dreams. So bring that into this practice with you when we get to the end and I get to your guys' practice for this week, which is going to be Dreamtime ritual. I want you to like bring that with you and how that might create some any type of resistance to really, really, really tuning into your dreams. Let me close this. Move this. Okay. So what do you know about dark matter? And what would you say you experience as the luminous light? So we're talking dark matter and luminous light. However you have come to experience it. Yes, I'm going to read this for the replay. Yes, humanity's galactic cosmic history is suppressed. It sure frickin' is. I've also witnessed attacks from people more susceptible to torment and how that possession plays out. Yeah. Yeah. And do you feel like you've witnessed attacks from people more susceptible to torment? Um, because of how suppressed you feel that the cosmic history is, like you feel like that kind of creates a more susceptibility to the torment and the torture of not being able to access it because of the suppression of it. I don't know if I asked that good. Words are hard. Ooh, I've been made to feel that dark matter is to be untouched. Oh, that's good. That's good. What if I told you that the dark matter can be seen as the soil, or that dark matter can be the flesh, the body, and light matter is to be untouched because I'm not God? Okay, so what happens when the material is no longer separated from God, right? As we were saying, the material has been so separated. So while you're here in this flesh, you shouldn't touch the light. Wait, 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 right? What happens when God is actually veiling itself in our physical material reality? God veils itself in this. God veils itself in this. This is an emanation of God, right? God veils itself. So what happens when we stop separating material reality. How much more closer contact does that bring us to the light? Cool. Let me read these. Well, I know about tachyon energy field, which is more imaginary matter, which I know is not what we were discussing, but the 0 point field pulls all energy into material. Yeah, I've studied that a little bit too, like the 0 point, like the 1 and 0, and like how you always come back to 0 point. Yeah, which kind of goes into quantum physics, which I want to distinguish quantum physics from Dreamtime physics, because quantum physics says we can experience all realities at once, and that's just like not possible. I can't actually experience past, present, future all at once. I can like you're saying, I can imagine it. I can imagine the past, I can imagine the future, but I can only ever touch right now. Right? And that's where quantum physics, Opal, we talked about this last week. That's where quantum physics gets lost in the sauce, is like, oh my God, I just had a quantum leap. But did you have a quantum leap, or did you just have some type of like energy activation? Right? Well, where is your physical body at? I know I'm kind of having you guys think a lot. Sorry. I know we like to think in here. I like that. I never resonate with fully with I am light in the sense of light matter. I am density and divine. Light years away. Yeah. Density and divine. I love that. D&D. D&D. Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. That's exactly, it's like, who says because I'm in this dense energy, I don't also get to experience the light in this dense reality? Whoever said this dense reality was disconnected and separate from eternity? That's the biggest thing with this. We've been convinced over and over that I have to wait to experience eternity, or I have to do something to gain eternity, but I have to wait. Also, I would still have to wait till I'm not in this flesh anymore. Maybe when I'm not in a body anymore. Right. So Dreamtime physics can be seen as the adventure into dreaming in waking reality. Not just as an individual, but being dreamed by the supernatural. Now, when I say supernatural with a capital S, I'm speaking to the divine presence of the supernatural. We can look at, I didn't put this in here, but supernatural with a lowercase s is more so like paranormal activity, which when we get deeper into our extraterrestrial stuff, we'll talk more about the paranormal stuff. But the ways that I'm using supernatural here is to speak to the divine presence that evades all things, the supernatural presence. So what if reality is a dream time that dreams you, sees you, hears you, knows you, is looking through your eyes right now? So the dream time is looking through your eyes right now. That's why even when you close your eyes and you go to sleep and you dream, you're still projecting very vivid things. That's not just you. That's the dream dreaming with you, right? So this is actually a really transpersonal perspective. It can feel selfish because you're like kind of going deeper into this, but it's also transpersonal because you're no longer just like a person dreaming. The dream is dreaming you in the dream. So I talked about this in the teaching. Mia, I'll probably have you watch the teaching that I did before this. But the supernatural and the natural exist in a continuum loop, a time continuum. Supernatural, the natural can literally only exist in this material reality because the supernatural dreams it. So I just really want to nail it into this class that the material is not separate from our spiritual reality. Okay. To turn off your cameras because I'm going to show a video and it works better when your cameras are off, when all our cameras are off. I'm gonna stop your video, Opal. So this is a scene from Avatar.
About 520 hours.
Good. You're in there. You're here. How much have you logged?
Zip. I read a manual.
Tell me you're joking.
Go. Don't. Got this.
You just figured you'd come out here to the most hostile environment known to man, with no training of any kind, and see how it went? What's going through your head?
Maybe I was sick of doctors telling me what I couldn't do.
Metrics are good.
Length 3 is ready.
Your arms in, hands in, head down. Down. Just relax and let your mind go blank. It shouldn't be hard for you.
It's the darkest part of being alive.
Initiate Mike.
On sequence unit 3, go.
Launching. After first congruency.
That's a gorgeous brain. Nice activity.
Go figure.
Phase lock 40%.
I'm going in 4.
Phase lock 99%. Think it's stable. In a response normal. How you feeling, Jake?
Hey, guys. Welcome to your new body, Jake.
Good.
I'm going to take this nice and easy, Jake.
And touch your thumb to your finger?
Yeah.
Thumb to your finger.
No problem.
Good. I can see you can remember that one.
Got it.
Well, if you want to sit up, that's fine.
Good. Just take it nice and slow, Jake. Good. Okay, with no truncal ataxia. That's good.
Are you feeling lightheaded or dizzy at all? Are you wiggling your
Good. Good, Jake. Just the motor control is good. Good,
Are you
Jake.
feeling any numbness or pain?
That's great, Jake. No, don't take it easy. Don't get ahead of yourself, okay? There's a few more sensory motor reflex tests we need to run to take it easy.
Wait.
Jake, Jake, listen to me.
Whoa.
I need you to sit down. Jake, it's okay. Listen to me. Oh, good. I got this.
You need to sit down. What?
Guys, get it back on the gurney now.
Listen to me. You need to sit down. You need time to adjust to the act. Today, sit down. 1,000 milligrams of sulfocam. Stop. Guys. Whoa. Jake, listen to me. You're not used to your avatar body. This is dangerous. This is great. Jake, come on. They're going to put you out. Hey, listen to me. Gotta get out of these leads.
Come on, you ain't got no skills. I don't even put defense on.
Hey, guys. Hey, it's okay. I'll get him.
Did you have to go?
Jake, you. Jake, I'm not supposed to be running.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, wait. Let me come back. Start video. You guys can bring your videos back. Blessing my girl Jasmine for that oh, let me go back. There we go. When you don't turn off videos, it'll like lag the video. So I had a sister share that with me on the other flesh teaching, which was cool. But yeah, so that scene is like how I want y'all to feel when you remember yourselves as a human animal in Sophia's story. What I think is fascinating about Avatar and them kind of going into this dream is there's the part where she says, "You're entering the most hostile environment known to man." Okay, so the humans, if you guys know from Avatar, the humans have to wear masks. They can't breathe in the air of the planet because it's only really for the avatars or for the species, right? And so in that movie, I see the avatars as the human animal and Awa, the earth, as Sophia, as this like alive, sentient, and aware planet that is like opening your eyes for the first time on how luminous and radiant and beautiful she is. And what I love about Jake's character is he's paralyzed in his human reality. And so when he gets into his avatar and he's like able to run and like the smells and like feel the ways that and have these senses, right? This is what it is to come alive as a human animal. I think that they're again, that species in that movie represents the human animal so good. And it just really shows the ways that a lot of society wants to see themselves as these mere mortals, right? I'm just this mere human mortal. Read the chat. Are you able to come back on video or is there is a minute? Oh, there you are. I guess I had to ask you. No, go back. Okay. So when he goes into that machine, notice how she says, calm your mind, empty your mind, and just relax, right? So that's such an imperative thing with entering the dream time is allowing the mind to chatter, but coming into this place where you are in the dream, you're entering the dream. So the dream time, as you guys know, there's messages, there's visuals, there's sight, and reality veils itself in the dream. So it's self-veiling and it's self-mirroring. Like you guys know when you have a dream and it's somebody else, but you know that the other person in your dream was actually representing you in some way. Like maybe you get in an argument with somebody or you see someone in a dream and